Don't scroll. Jesus Christ motivation speech, "Don't scroll," is not just a hook, it's a wake-up call. It's that moment where something is trying to get your attention before you move on, before you ignore something important. In today's fast-moving world, especially with social media, people scroll past everything: messages, opportunities, even moments that could change their mindset. But this message says, backhand index pointing right, pause, and listen. The teachings of Jesus Christ remind us that sometimes, the most important guidance comes in quiet, unexpected moments. If you keep rushing, if you keep scrolling through life without stopping, you might miss something that could truly help you. My dear friends, don't scroll means this moment matters. Maybe you're tired. Maybe you're confused. Maybe you're going through something difficult. And right now, backhand index pointing right, this message is for you. Instead of distracting yourself, instead of avoiding your thoughts, backhand index pointing right, take a moment. Think about your life. Think about your direction. Think about what you really want. Because constantly scrolling, constantly distracting yourself, backhand index pointing right, it delays your growth. Don't scroll. At a deeper level means, backhand index pointing right, face your reality. Backhand index pointing right, focus on your goals. Backhand index pointing right, stop running from your situation. My dear friends, this is where change begins. You stop wasting time on distractions. You stop avoiding important decisions. You start taking control of your life. Because success does not come from escaping reality. Backhand index pointing right, it comes from facing it. And this moment, right now, backhand index pointing right, could be the moment you shift your mindset. So don't ignore it. Don't rush past it. Pause. Reflect. Act. Because when you truly understand, don't scroll. You don't let life pass you by. You take control, stay focused, and start making decisions that move you toward a stronger, more purposeful future. As you go deeper into this message, you begin to realize something powerful. Don't scroll is not just about stopping your thumb, it's about stopping your distractions. The teachings of Jesus Christ remind us that constant distraction is one of the biggest reasons people stay stuck. You keep scrolling. You keep watching. You keep delaying. And slowly, backhand index pointing right, time keeps passing. My dear friends, this is where awareness begins. You ask yourself, am I moving forward, or just passing time? And that question changes everything. Because deep inside, you already know. Backhand index pointing right, you have goals. Backhand index pointing right, you have responsibilities. Backhand index pointing right, you have potential. But distractions keep pulling you away. Don't scroll. At this stage becomes a decision. A decision to focus. A decision to act. A decision to take control of your time. You stop wasting hours on things that don't matter. You stop avoiding the work that actually moves your life forward. Instead, backhand index pointing right, you start taking action. You work on your goals. You improve your skills. You build discipline. And this is powerful. Because small actions, repeated daily, backhand index pointing right, create big results. At the same time, the message of Jesus Christ reminds you that your time is valuable. Backhand index pointing right, don't waste it on things that don't help your growth. So pause right now. Refocus your mind. Take one step forward. Because when you truly understand, don't scroll. You don't let distractions control your life. You take charge of your time, your focus, and your future, moving forward with purpose, discipline, and clear direction. As you continue with this message, you reach a deeper realization. Don't scroll is not just about stopping distractions, it's about choosing your future over temporary comfort. The teachings of Jesus Christ remind us that growth often requires doing what is uncomfortable instead of what is easy. Scrolling is easy. Distraction is easy. Avoiding your responsibilities is easy. But staying focused, working hard, and improving yourself. Backhand index pointing right, that requires discipline. My dear friends, this is where your life starts to change. You begin to understand that every time you choose distraction, you delay your progress. Every minute you waste. Every hour you lose. Backhand index pointing right, it never comes back. Don't scroll at this stage becomes a mindset. You stop choosing comfort over growth. You stop running from your responsibilities. You stop delaying your goals. Instead, backhand index pointing right, you take control. You sit down and do the work. You focus on what matters. You push yourself even when you don't feel like it. And this is where success begins. Because success is not built in big moments. Backhand index pointing right, it is built in small, disciplined choices. At the same time, the message of Jesus Christ reminds you that your life has purpose. Backhand index pointing right, don't waste it on distractions. So choose wisely. Choose growth. Choose action. Because when you truly understand, don't scroll. You don't follow easy habits anymore. You build discipline, take responsibility, and move forward with focus, creating a life that is driven by purpose instead of distraction. As you move deeper into this message, you reach a powerful stage. Don't scroll becomes self-control and clarity. The teachings of Jesus Christ remind us that when you control your attention, you start controlling your life. You are no longer reacting to every distraction. You are no longer pulled by every notification. Because now, backhand index pointing right, you are in control. My dear friends, this is where real power begins. You decide where your time goes. You decide what deserves your attention. You decide what actually matters in your life. Don't scroll at this stage becomes discipline. You don't waste hours without thinking. You don't lose focus easily. You don't let distractions break your momentum. Instead, backhand index pointing right, you stay focused. You work with intention. You act with purpose. You move forward with clarity. And this creates a huge difference. Because while others are distracted, backhand index pointing right, you are progressing. While others are wasting time, backhand index pointing right, you are building your future. At the same time, the message of Jesus Christ reminds you that your focus is valuable. Backhand index pointing right, protect it. Because what you focus on, backhand index pointing right, that is what your life becomes. So keep going. Stay disciplined. Guard your attention. Because when you truly understand, don't scroll. You don't just avoid distractions. You master your time, your focus, and your direction, creating a life built on clarity, discipline, and meaningful progress.